Hello, and welcome to the Get Well Now podcast series with Andrew Gaeddert, herbalist and director of the Get Well Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing education and resources for natural and alternative therapies. In today's podcast, Andrew talks about the benefits of tryptophan for mood and sleep. Please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this each week. And let us know what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.
I've used 5-HTP, a naturally occurring plant extract with tryptophan, with thousands of patients, and it's one of the best herbs for sleep disorders and for mood. And I'm thinking about some of my patients. There was the doctor who didn't sleep. I said, surely you must get some sleep. And he goes, no, I haven't slept since medical school. And I actually talked to a colleague who is a sleep researcher. He said, is that even possible? You go, no, the doctor probably gets some sleep. He's just not aware of it. So after a lot of questioning, he finally said in the second appointment, well, I probably get 20 minutes of sleep. And so the amazing thing is 5-HTP, which again is a naturally occurring extract of tryptophan. Over time, it took about 2 months, he finally got what he admitted was 2 hours of sleep a night. So that means, he sort of dramatically improved his sleep just from using 5-HTP tryptophan. There was one patient who had tremendous problems with late night eating cravings and also insomnia. She would actually wake up once or twice a night to binge eat. And she found that not only did tryptophan help her insomnia, but also it reduced or eliminated the late night eating cravings. And then again, with hundreds, if not thousands of patients that have chronic conditions like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and long COVID that have insomnia at night, and they're highly stressed during the day. So today we're going to discuss how to use tryptophan, its uses, and its benefits. And before we begin, I just want to make sure that you know that I'm thinking about offering some classes on herbs and how to use them for best results. And would you let us know in the comments section if this is something you'd be interested in? Also, if you have other topics that would be of use to our listeners, wouldn't you mention that also? And don't forget to hit subscribe. That really helps us. So what is tryptophan? So tryptophan is an amino acid, and amino acids are found in foods that contain protein. And so amino acids help make protein, but they also serve other important functions. And the other important function is as a transmitter. So basically, tryptophan helps transmit, and it can convert a molecule called 5-HTP, which is hydroxytryptophan, into serotonin and melatonin. So what's so great about tryptophan is that it's used to make serotonin, which is considered a healthy brain molecule, and melatonin, which is directly responsible for sleep. By building neurotransmitters such as tryptophan, such as serotonin, it will help sleep because it's calming, but then it also helps you build melatonin levels, which is directly responsible for helping to treat insomnia as well as other sleep disorders. So what they found, now tryptophan has been used extensively in the West, and it was produced by pharmaceutical companies until relatively recently. And low levels of tryptophan are associated with mood disorders, depression, and anxiety. So again, they can measure tryptophan levels in the body. It's kind of expensive, but it can be done. And they show that people that have anxiety and depression have low tryptophan levels. Also, low levels of tryptophan may impair memory and learning. Now, it's many sources, many authorities consider 5-hydroxytryptophan or 5-HTP or L-tryptophan to be not appropriate for children, particularly young children. So I think that that's important to honor that contraindication. But we want to think about using it for memory and learning in adults, and perhaps consulting with a holistic physician about using with more adolescents. Again, it's so calming. And one of the problems with learning disorders is that the teenager's brain is just so excited that it just can't focus. And so perhaps tryptophan could help with the focusing as well. And so, as I mentioned, tryptophan helps increase blood levels of serotonin and melatonin. And so the combination means that it's useful for helping not only insomnia, but other sleep disorders. And one study showed that eating tryptophan-enriched cereal in the morning and at dinner helped adults fall asleep faster and sleep longer, as opposed to when they used just standard cereals. And so there are some important food sources of tryptophan: meat, poultry, shrimp, eggs, elk, and crab contain high levels of tryptophan. And then the way I recommend using tryptophan is by using the supplement 5-HTP. So what we're going to do next is talk about the overall benefits, and then I'll give you some tips to close up. So there are studies that show that L-tryptophan helps with insomnia, and it's more of a gentle effect, but the person almost feels happy and calm, and then they can fall asleep. And so I've used 5-hydroxytryptophan or 5-HTP extensively with people who have both trouble getting to sleep and then people who wake up frequently in the night. Many of my middle-aged and senior clients, start waking up at 1 a.m, 2 a.m, 3 a.m, 4 a.m, 5 a.m. And I found that you can use 5-hydroxytryptophan or 5-HTP upon waking. And I haven't had one case of a person taking 5-HTP saying, "Oh, I just felt hungover the next day," although I suppose it's possible. 5-HTP and tryptophan have been studied for anxiety, cognitive impairment, depression, H. pylori. So they found in one small study that adding L-tryptophan to an anti-ulcer drug speeded up the ulcer healing. Again, we've talked extensively about using 5-HTP and L-tryptophan in insomnia. It's also been studied in myofascial pain syndrome, obesity, PMS, PMDD, seasonal affective disorder, sleep apnea, smoking cessation, and Tourette's syndrome. So there's many reasons why we might want to consider supplementing with 5-HTP or L-tryptophan. So before we conclude with the tips, let me explain a little bit about the difference. So again, L-tryptophan is the amino acid. It can be chemically synthesized in the lab. The problem is that L-tryptophan is hard to get on the marketplace, and that's a long story. It typically is expensive, and there's not many people who can who provide L-tryptophan. So I recommend exclusively using, if you want to get tryptophan, to use 5-HTP, which typically it's extracted for graphonia seeds. So my number one recommendation is use tryptophan in the form of 5-HTP derived from graphonia seeds. Number two, make sure you use a quality product from a reliable company. And number three, follow warning labels carefully, because tryptophan may be inappropriate for children or people undergoing certain medications.
Well, this concludes the Get Well Now podcast. For more information, please visit our website at getwellfoundation.org. Please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this each week. And let us know what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.